Schaefer, editor of Feed and Grain magazine, here in Omaha, Nebraska at GEAPS Exchange 2014. I'm here today with TJ Mahoney, Leaf Program Manager with Railserve, Inc. Hi, how are you?
Good to see you, Elise.
Good to see you. Can you tell me about the Leaf Genset and how it's different from other engines?
Sure, a Genset locomotive is based upon a modern diesel engine, four-stroke engine using an electric generator. The conventional locomotives have a large, prior to 1973, all the way back to 1950, they'll have a very large conventional locomotive engine, heavy, large weight, also has a lot more emissions. So the Genset locomotive produces electricity. All the wheels operate pretty much the same way, but they're computer controlled instead of just controlled by gears.
And how's the Leaf being used by the agricultural industry?
We have quite a few Leafs out in the ag industry. We have about 12 that are operating at different facilities, different companies, and they're used in this yard switching operation primarily, either to load rail cars, unload rail cars, or to stage them for shipment to their customers.
And can you talk about the sustainability benefits of the Leaf?
Sure. The Leaf reduces emissions by about 84% versus the conventional locomotives. That's NOx and particulate matter in particular. We also reduce the fuel consumed, so you'll have 50 to 65% fuel reduction. And as that fuel consumption goes down, the CO2 emissions, which is a widely known greenhouse gas, the CO2 emissions will be cut proportionately. So if you use half as much fuel, you'll have half as much CO2. 65% as much fuel, you'll have 35% as much CO2.
Now, in addition to the sustainability benefits, what are the other advantages of the Leaf?
Well, we have great tractive effort. When we build the locomotive, we remove all the old power plant, we put in a new cab, but we put weight on the locomotive to maintain the weight or sometimes even increase the weight a little bit. And that weight is what gives an engine tractive effort in the yard. So the smaller 600 horsepower Genset is able to replace a 1500 horsepower conventional locomotive. And that is one of the better benefits. The other thing the computer does is it looks at, I don't know if you can see on the picture, we have the dynameter on each wheel, and the computer is looking at the speed of each axle such that if wheel slippage is going to occur, it backs off on the power. And by backing off on the power, we avoid burning the rails or damaging the track, damaging the wheels, and the locomotive continues to pull the cars smoothly.
Now, some people might equate sustainability with a loss of power. Can you explain why that's not true with the Leaf?
Well, the loss of power from a horsepower point of view, folks look at, you've reduced the horsepower from 1500 to 600 or from 2200 to 1200. They worry about, am I going to be able to move enough cars? What we tend to do is we take them out to see something like the 3016 and see it move 75 loaded rail cars up a grade, and we pretty much allay those concerns.
And you also have the dual Leaf option as well, right?
Right, that's the 1200 horsepower model, would have two of the 600 horsepower engines. And the dual model can run on either one of the two. So that gives people some security in terms of if one engine goes down, they don't have to shut down the locomotive. They can still move rail cars, just not as many or perhaps not as fast.
Now, what does the future hold for Railserve Leaf?
Well, we have a lot of exciting developments underway. We're looking at going from Tier 3 to Tier 4 emissions. That requires some post-addition equipment to the motor. We also have an international export order underway with the Export-Import Bank of the U.S. Trade Department is helping us with that. We have some new leasing options coming together that are going to be allowing more competitive leasing. We think we'll be pressing our plant capacity pretty well and looking at expanding before the end of the year.
For anyone who's interested out there, how can they learn more information about the Leaf?
Well, they can go to the website, which would be railsurfleaf.biz, or they can certainly get in touch with me at tjmahoney@railserve.biz.
Great. Well, TJ, thank you for sharing your information with me. I appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure, Elise.
This is Elise Schaefer, editor of Feed and Grain at GEAPS Exchange 2014.